Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for another plan with me. This time we are doing the week of September 7th to 13th. I am diving right into my fall kits with this deluxe kit from LetsPlanIt. It's a bit of an older kit in an older format, but the colors were just perfect for fall. So let's get started. As always, I start with my date covers. So these ones are a little bit taller. They are decorative date covers, so they are kiss cut little trees, but I need to give them a little bit more space, so I went about 3 grid spaces down, and I always give myself 8 grid spaces per weekly column, and then I leave a little space in between. It just makes sure that when I'm laying down stickers that I don't overlap. If I overhang a sticker a little bit, which I kind of like to do sometimes, so it just gives me all the space I need to work with. After I lay down my date covers, I go ahead and put the bottom washi in. For these deluxe kits, they have been created with the Erin Condren Life Planner in mind, so that's what they've been designed for. So there's a washi strip that's a little bit shorter and then another one that's a little bit longer. So the smaller one usually fits just perfect and I don't have to trim it, and then obviously the other longer piece I do have to trim a little bit to make it fit the page, but I usually always start with the smaller one so I don't have to worry about that for the first page, and then I just trim the next piece for the second page. You can see I struggle a lot with the stickers in this kit. Not because of the kit itself. I don't know what was going on with me when I filmed this. I just was having a lot of trouble getting the stickers on straight, and I kept pulling them from where I wanted them to be, so you'll notice throughout the video that I struggle a lot with that for some reason, but we get there in the end, so it's fine. For this kit, because it's an older format, it came with these little hydration strips, so I go ahead and put those in for each day at the bottom, just so I can kind of remember to tick those off as I go. Then for Monday, I put my today header, and then I usually each day leave a little box for today that either will have kind of a priority item that needs to get done that day, or will have an important event or something that's happening that day. For Monday, because it is the 7th, it is Labor Day here in Canada. I believe it's also Labor Day in the US. So I put down a quarter box so that I can just put down that it is a day off for me and that it is Labor Day. Then next I will go and put in the full box. I tried to color block a little bit again this time, but I don't think I was super successful with that. I don't know. You can tell me what you think in the comments, but I did try to color block a little bit this time again. It just, I kind of messed around with the stickers a little bit too much, so I think I ran out of the colors that I needed in the end, but still think it turned out pretty well. So then I just went and moved my clip because it was in my way, and I will put the to-do list next. I had to really rearrange the checklist to make it fit. It was just big enough, or I guess the space was just big enough to fit the entire checklist, which I wanted, because given that it was a day off, I had a lot I wanted to accomplish, so I needed that whole checklist. And it was good that I was able to fit it, but I had to play around with it a little bit to make sure that it wasn't overlapping on any of the stickers. Then for Tuesday, I went to put my today sticker and then realized that I actually wanted to put my payday first. So I just pulled that off, went to go grab the quarter box that I wanted, and then put that down instead before, and then laid my today sticker, and again with the quarter box so that I could just put in an event or something important for that day. Another kind of realization that I came to filming this was that when I am doing the right side of the page and I'm moving from right to left, it's really hard not to want to turn my book around. So I think for next time I'm going to play around with the video a little bit and see if I can shuffle my book around, because I really need to be able to turn it. So I'm probably going to play with my camera angles a little bit before the next video and see if I can find a better way to do that, because it is just really difficult to put the stickers down face on when I really, really just want to turn the book. So I will have to sort that out for the next video, but chances are it's going to look a little bit different than this one and the one previous. So you can see I put down the full box. Now I'm going back in and just putting down that payday sticker because I already know that that's where I wanted it to be. Then underneath the full box, I'm just putting another little box to remind myself that this is the day my dog walker is coming. I think I've mentioned that in previous videos, so just leaving a little spot that I can mark that. And then I will put in my to-do section with a few to-dos that I want to get done on Tuesday, although because it's a short week and Monday was a holiday, I don't think I'm going to be able to do too much because guaranteed work is going to be extra busy, just given that we had a day off and we have to catch up on everything. So I don't want to put too much on my plate and then just feel disappointed that I'm not able to check them off, because it is the most satisfying thing to just be able to check off the things on your to-do list. Then we will move over to Wednesday. Again, starting with my today header and leaving myself a quarter box so that I can put in an event or my top priority for that day, which is TBD at this point. I can only see so many days in advance. Then I will go and put my to-do list in and the full box. And you can see I'm struggling with the placement of these stickers. I don't know why. Usually they don't cause me so much trouble, so I don't know if I was just tired or why I was just having such a hard time getting these stickers to go on straight. Especially on this page, because I'm used to working from left to right. That's my more comfortable side, so I don't know why it was just causing me a lot of headache, but I think it turned out relatively straight. There's still a few stickers that I'm staring at wanting to move, but I don't want to move them now because they've been laid down for a couple days. It's much easier to remove a sticker right after you've put it down, but once it's kind of sat there for a couple days, it's really not the easiest. So you can see here, I just had to trim that checklist a tiny little bit to get it to fit, but otherwise it pretty much the whole checklist fit there, so that was great. And then I just add a but first coffee sticker because it's a fairly large to-do list for a Wednesday, and I don't think I'm going to have enough to fill all of those check spots, but I definitely want to add coffee to the list. And now we'll move to the dashboard. Alright, so you can see that I've already trimmed this page down. It was a full page. I just trimmed it down so that I could use it for my weekly dashboard. I leave about 11 grid spaces, so that leaves a little bit of space on either side and then gives you the room for basically a day, like a day of the week column. So gives you just the right amount of space on either side. I also have a paper corner rounder, so I just trim the corners so that they're rounded just like the other pages are. Here you can see I'm just putting down some glitter headers, and then the full box that has a nice quote on it. The quote reads, "These are the days we dream about when the sun paints us gold." So I think that's just perfect for fall because not only is the sun still super warm, but the colors are starting to change. Everything's getting more bronzed looking with the leaves changing color and the grass and everything else, and it's just really a beautiful time of year. Then I put down this week, which is again a decorative little header, and I will put down the weekly habit box, so it's just a full box that has every day of the week, and I use that primarily to track events and other types of things like when my husband is working, or if there's something super important like a family dinner happening on that day, I will typically put it in there. Then next I put down my habit trackers, but I originally had them butted right up against the weekly habit, or the weekly tracker, I guess. And I didn't like it because it left this big space at the bottom of the dashboard. So I just ended up moving those down, starting at the bottom, and then I added a washi strip just above them. LetsPlanIt gives you lots of variety in the sizes of washi available, so I was able to find just a nice chunky one to add in there, and then later I can go in and put a banner for the habit label. So now I will work on the back side of my dashboard page, starting with this little post-it note. So this is a couple stickers from one of the Happy Planner sticker books. This one is actually the bullet journal sticker pack, and it's got some really great stickers in there. If you just want to add, a few little decorative items or even just some extra little boxes to your spreads, they're definitely a great addition. Then I go and put my header for meals, and I will put in the other weekly tracker box. I don't track all of my meals throughout the day. I mostly just focus on supper because that's the meal that my family eats together. During the day I am working and my husband takes care of my daughter, so we're kind of on different schedules as far as that goes. So the one meal that we really focus on together is supper. Then I will put in my header for next week and put in a full box checklist, just so that I can keep track of anything coming up for the next week that I need to remember as the week progresses. So whether that's something that I need to do or an event that I have scheduled that I need to remember, I just want to make sure that I note it down so that I can make sure I capture it in the spread following. And then I did have a little bit of space left over, so I went back to the kit to see if I could find something to put in there. I decided to go with some washi, and you can see that I kind of put in various size strips and kind of combine them together to make like one big box. Have not fully decided what I will be putting there yet, but I'm thinking maybe either a quote or sometimes I like to capture like currently, like what you're currently reading, currently watching, something like that. Those are always really fun to keep track of for the week. And now I'm going to start working on the second half of my week, starting with the day covers. You can see Saturday's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Like I said, I was having such a hard time with putting down stickers straight that I kind of just gave up and let some be crooked. So I put my day covers down. I have already pre-cut the bottom washi, so I'm just able to lay that down. I just do a quick measure. It's super easy to fold the paper just where the cut lines are for the sticker, so you can just fold that, measure it against where you have your columns set up, and then just cut. Super easy. So I just quickly cut my washi, and then I can lay it down. And then I will start getting to work on Thursday. This one washi strip was really hard for me to get on. Like I said, I really want to change how I'm recording these so that I can have the book be a little bit more sideways because I really just needed to change the angle of my notebook. Trying to lay the stickers down while I'm keeping my notebook dead on was really difficult. Kudos to all the filmers who do this on a regular basis. I just am not capable. So I think for my next video, I definitely am going to have to make some changes to make it a little bit easier so I don't struggle so much. So starting Thursday, again, I put my today header, and then I go in and put in my corner box just to keep tabs on anything that I have coming up for that day. For Thursday, I initially put a colored one and then remembered that I was using the more decorative boxes. But I actually did put 2 on Thursday because, again, it is the day that my dog walker comes. So I just left the kind of more decorative box for something and then put the other little quarter box underneath. So it still worked out. I still was able to use both of them. Then I go in and put in my full box and then fill out my to-dos. And by the time I get close to the bottom, I remembered that I needed to put in the hydration trackers that I did on the first page. So I just had to quickly put those in. Otherwise, if I forget, then I end up taking that space over and not having room for them. So I was glad that at least I noticed, because I have done spreads before where I have not noticed and ended up having hydration trackers on one half of my week and not on the other. And that is just a little bit strange. So now I can go in and put the hydration trackers, finish off Thursday, and then move over to Friday. Thursday and Friday, I went with like middle-sized to-do lists. I feel like I can accomplish a relatively good amount of things on Thursday and Friday. Friday is a little bit of a toss-up because my husband works at night, so usually when I finish work, he starts work. So it all depends which time I finish work on Friday. Kind of dictates how much I will be able to get done. So I like to leave myself extra room for extra to-dos, but sometimes I don't end up being able to accomplish all of them, in which case I just fill up that space with something else. It's really easy to just put a quarter box or some washi over top of a couple checklist boxes if you aren't going to use them. So it's better to have too many than too little, because you can always put something over top of them, but it's really hard to add more once you've already got your layout finished. So I would rather have the extra checklist boxes and then not. So now I think I can move on to Friday. I've got all my hydration trackers. Usually I don't put them on the weekends, but I felt like I probably should. I have not been drinking as much water as lately as I think I should. So that was why I chose to move it on the weekends. Usually on the weekends I'm pretty good about it because I have a little bit more free time, so I tend to drink more water. It's really during the week when I'm working and I just kind of get too involved in what I'm doing and I totally forget to hydrate. So it's usually more important during the week, but like I said, lately I've been pretty bad, so I thought might as well carry it over into the weekend just as a reminder to keep hydrated. So as you can see, on Thursday I did have to trim down that checklist box a little bit, but the way that LetsPlanIt has the check boxes in her kits makes it super easy to trim them down if you have to, and they still look absolutely wonderful. Then, so Friday, start again with today and the quarter box, and then I will add my to-dos and put the full box all the way on the bottom. For Saturday, I usually tend not to put too much. In this spread in particular, I left quite a bit of white space because I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday yet. The weekend's a bit of a toss-up. My husband does work on Saturdays, so depending on what the weather looks like, I might spend time with my parents because they love to see my daughter, or I might try to plan something just for my daughter and I to get out for a little bit. But I don't typically put a lot as far as to-do lists on Saturday. I might be able to do a couple of things, but usually not able to do too much just because I'm chasing after my daughter all day. She is walking and gets into absolutely everything, so even trying to keep her quarantined in a room does not work. So there is not a lot of point in giving myself a ton of to-dos that I'm just not going to be able to complete because I have to keep my eye on her all the time. She is definitely going to be a troublemaker. And then this checklist for Friday, it almost fit. It was so tight, but I just didn't like it. I usually like to have a little bit of space kind of above and under my checklist, even if it's just a tiny little bit. And there just wasn't going to be any space at all with that checklist on Friday. So I did trim it down. You can see I kind of place it and replace it a couple times because I didn't like how far away it was from the header. So I moved it up just to make it a little snug, and it left a little bit of space between that and the full box, which I think is fine. I might go and throw some washi in there after, or maybe another script, we'll see. But the little extra space at the bottom is totally fine with me. Then Saturday, I go and put my today header and my quarter box, but I pretty much leave the rest of the day open because like I said, I don't really know what is going to happen on Saturday, and there's no point in really giving myself a huge to-do list. Sunday, on the other hand, is my cleaning day, so it's the day that both my husband and I are not working, so that's the day we try to tackle all of our cleaning and meal prep, and it's generally a pretty busy day for us, but basically the big highlight for sure is cleaning. So when I put the today and the quarter box, I know that I'm going to be putting the cleaning script there. And then I leave myself another to-do list, but keep it relatively short because after cleaning, there's just not a lot of time to do much else. And there we go. Again, really struggling with the sticker placement. I don't know why. It must just be the angle that I was working with, that everything just seems so crooked. So now that I've got pretty much all the stickers in place for the bulk of this spread, I can go in and just add a few little details like the weekend banner. I usually put it between Friday and Saturday because, I mean, Friday is really the real start of the weekend. When Friday is at the end of the day, that's when my weekend starts, so I usually overlap it a bit there. I add the finally sticker on Friday. I'll still probably add something else to that quarter box, but it's nice to have that little sticker there. Clean up on Sunday, which I had mentioned before that I knew I was going to place there. And I can also go through at this point and put in the dates. So I can go through and write the dates in on all the day covers. I do this with my Tombow Fudenosuke pen. It's the hard tip, so it has the kind of dark green color on it. I know there's two. There's the hard tip and the soft tip, and the soft tip is blue and the hard tip is green. I personally really love using the hard tip. It just works really great on pretty much all stickers. The soft tip is much better if you're going to do brush lettering. I have not been able to master the brush lettering with the hard tip. I've seen a lot of people be able to do that in videos. I don't know if I'm just not holding the brush the right, or the pen the right way, but I just have not been able to get the same results. I usually have to fake it, so. But I do like it for just generally writing. It works really well on all stickers. I've never had any issues with it smudging. Given the journal that I use, I don't have any bleeding. Archer and Olive has really, really great pages. So yeah, I've never had any issue with ghosting or bleeding. So I just go in, fill out the dates. I added that little banner and I wrote in habits there. Now I'm going to go in and just add some color for the checklists. The lines kind of just help me write in what I need and keep tabs on what my spacing looks like. I do use a ruler to try to keep things straight, although they still ended up a little crooked. Seems to be the theme of this plan with me, is that I somehow made everything crooked, but I do go in and do some highlighting with my zebra Mildliners to add a little bit of color to those checklists. So as you can see, I finished filling out all of the color. I didn't want to bore you with having to watch me do every single day. This is the finished spread here. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to planning with you again soon.